gentlemen, introducing your host from the birthplace of extreme, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, weighing in at, well, an average weight for a person of his size, Shondell Wilbur.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Bury the Booking Podcast, Wrestling Podcast. My name is Del. That is Devin. How are we doing today?
Hopefully better than the last show.
Yeah, hopefully a lot better than the Level Down podcast. If you are itching to listen or watch some chaos erupt, check out our latest edition of the Level Down podcast. We have had a litany of issues today as we record on our classic Sunday with Riverside, and just server connection issues, just a lot. We've been in and out of connectivity for the vast majority of our last podcast, so hopefully this one goes a little bit better, and in the event that it doesn't, we're going to try to do our best to not make this one a lengthy one, so just be forewarned. We are racing against the clock here.
It already, I'm on Twitch. It has the wrong background up.
Oh, fantastic.
The names cut out. And the Riverside error message at the top.
Nice.
Live.
Oh, fantastic.
Like, I'm looking at it live.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. So, thanks, Riverside.
Yeah.
So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and just jump into this one so we can get in here and get out with as little issues as possible. Today actually is going to be a little bit straightforward. Of course, we are going to end our show as always as we wrap it up in a nice little nutshell when we talk about AEW. But let's start with WWE. As we record, like I said, on our classic Sunday, we had a PLE yesterday afternoon. We had the Saudi Arabia show, Night of Champions. I know it was a good one for you because it was early afternoon.
Yes.
You were over way before bedtime, which was good.
1 to 4.
1 to 4.
Well, I started at 12.
Okay. Well,
I
I'd say
turned it on
maybe
at 12.
Maybe about like an hour before your bedtime is when it stopped.
Yeah.
So, but let's, like I said, let's just jump into it. You know, racing the clock and racing Riverside and whatever their kafluppery is. How do we feel all in all as a whole before we get to the matches about WWE Night of Champions from Saudi Arabia?
Okay, I'm gonna say some stuff that might not be popular.
Okay.
I don't like the Saudi Arabian crowd.
Okay.
I don't. They don't do it for me.
Okay.
I don't like the reaction towards the female wrestlers. I don't like. They don't pop. They don't. I guess they're getting excited in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't do it for me.
It comes across.
It takes me out of the show.
Okay, that's fair.
When the audience is weak, it takes me out of the show.
That's fair. Yeah,
and
I mean they were up for the people that they loved. Clearly,
that was it.
Like the big superstars, like the giant names, the huge names. They
the
were
only
definitely
female they popped for, got excited for was Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, I mean it's like who wouldn't, but like I understand your point.
Even on the SmackDown show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was. I get why we're in Saudi Arabia for this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with us having shows in Saudi Arabia. I'm going to just need the fans to show up and act like they're fans. Like, the show was average at best. But if the audience was a little more participating,
it would have took it up.
It would have took it up a notch.
Okay.
Show some excitement.
Understood. I definitely I understand everything that you're saying there. Sometimes
and the Royal Rumble's going to be there.
Yeah. That women's Royal Rumble.
Huh?
That women's Royal Rumble.
It's not going to be good. I get it. Different folks, different strokes. Everybody, I'm not telling y'all how to live your life. But I'm telling you how y'all need to respond to a crowd.
You know what's going to happen in that women's Royal Rumble to get the crowd reactions? You're gonna start bringing back old. Try to get those crowd reactions, getting some of the old stars.
Mm-hmm. It ain't. You could. There's other places. When are we going to like? Like you got Saudi Arabia, cool. You got France, you got Paris, or that same place. You got France. You got all these other countries you could tap into. Like, do you realize how wild Japan would be for a WWE event?
Mm-hmm.
How wild.
Yeah, that would be insane.
They would lose their mind just to have Io and Asuka and Kyrie and all them just standing there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, legit.
Like, who had the best audience? Was it France?
France was wild.
France was crazy.
That was wild.
And everybody keep trying to and I compare everybody to France.
That was wild. That was a wild crowd.
Yeah. When do we get that? Yeah. Can we go to Brazil?
Yeah.
Or something? Y'all wasting. Saudi Arabia giving WWE too much money.
Oh yeah. I think everybody's like, y'all wanna, what they gonna do about the show? They were like, no, they're still gonna have the show.
Oh yeah, even with the wildness going on over there.
They were like, nope. Guess what's still gonna happen? Night of Champions.
Even with the conflict happening.
Mm-hmm. They ain't care. The show must go on.
Man.
So speaking of the show, let's talk about the show. And we're going to get into it now. And let's just take it from the beginning, take it from the top, take it from the opener. They started Night of Champions with the finals of the King of the Ring tournament. This was Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. Now, the crowd was up for this one. One, it was the opener. And two, the gigantic stars in Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. So we opened the show hot. The crowd is into it, of course, because they love both of these guys. They're, like we said, gigantic stars. The Saudi Arabia eats up those big, larger-than-life, iconic, the superstars, the ones that are put up in the forefront, the champions, the gladiators, those guys. So the crowd was definitely all on board on this one.
Yeah, they were. But that doesn't mean the match was great. It wasn't.
You didn't like this?
Solid C+.
Okay.
Solid C+. The outcome was dumb. Why are we giving Cody Rhodes another opportunity at a championship?
Cody could be that guy. They're gonna do the rematch for Cody Cena at SummerSlam.
Oh, Jesus. It looks to me like they're working towards a Randy Orton heel turn. But slowly. That's what it looks like. It looks like we're getting a Randy Orton heel turn really slow.
Yeah, Randy was conflicted in this. Him and Cody, of course, they touted the history with Legacy and, the faction and the friendship and everything like that played into the storytelling of the match. But it also did take a turn where Randy decided, all right, look, I am going to punt this dude. And, when that didn't work out, Randy was like, all right, well, now that I've gotten into this headspace, I'm just going to do whatever I feel like I'm going to need to do to get this win. And, that he started, but, with Cody kicking out of multiple RKOs and all this and that. Like, once he kicked out of the second one, first of all, I believe we predicted this anyway. Like, Cody was going to win this match. Cody was going to win the King of the Ring. It was a no-brainer. But, if you didn't feel like that was the way, like if you thought Randy Orton was going to win, and you needed convincing. Cody kicking out of that second RKO should have been everything that you needed to know in terms of Cody Rhodes is winning this King of the Ring.
But he didn't need to win this King of the Ring.
No, I agree.
Like, he didn't need to win this. This wasn't...
The finals didn't need to be Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes.
No.
They didn't.
But it was, and it didn't... It just didn't appeal to me that much. Like, one, I'm so over Cody Rhodes.
Yes, you're done.
Like this is beyond boring for me. I don't care about you. I don't care about your story. Finishing, getting championship backs. Like, stick to doing a podcast.
I do like the podcast. I do like the podcast. Podcast is great.
That's where he's entertaining. Other than that, I don't see the point.
Well, so yeah, like, you know, all in all, Cody Rhodes does defeat Randy Orton. Cody Rhodes is the King of the Ring, and Cody Rhodes will look to get back his championship. All signs are pointing to John Cena versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam for the World Championship.
Do we need this? Do we need John Cena and Cody Rhodes?
Again, I don't know what the end result is right now. I don't know what happens yet.
Depressing.
Yeah. Maybe it's the beginning of the turn back to, because at some point, you know, we're going to have to switch John Cena back over. But
don't retire him this way.
Before he rides out, yeah, he's going to have to go out of babyface. Unless we swap him. Unless we use SummerSlam to swap.
There you go.
Oh.
I'm for it.
Maybe Cody gives in and Cody cheats to beat Cena, and then John Cena is instantly the babyface again. You ain't got that much time to tell a elaborate story as to why John Cena would have just changed course and, you know, decided he wanted to be a good guy again and not ruin wrestling. I don't know. Or, I mean, you know, we could do the whole keep Cena champion still. Something happens and, you know, he goes against... What was it? Yeah, no, it was Seth, right? Seth tried to cash in. So, I mean, you know, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I think Seth is going to end up the champion. They're not giving it to Cody.
That could be, and maybe that could be how it happens. Maybe Cena goes after Seth, and that would make him a babyface. Also, he didn't lose it. He, you know, didn't lose it fair and square. He got cashed in on, or whoever got cashed in on.
Yeah,
loses the title, goes back after him. Everybody will automatically cheer for Cena again. Keep Cody.
I can see that. I can see that's working.
Keep Cody as a giant babyface still. John Cena back to babyface. Seth Rollins is your big heel champion. Could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's Hope we'll see what happens as they get closer to SummerSlam, as they start start laying the groundwork for that. Next up we had the street fight, the women's street fight between Raquel Rodriguez and Rhea Ripley. I like this match.
It was, once again, it felt average to me.
Okay.
I'm hoping this ends this Rhea Judgment Day BS, so she can get back to trying to get a championship or something, get a title. We know what's going to happen. What's the girl's name?
Roxanne
is going to... They're going to be the tag team champions.
Yeah, we talked about this, I think, on our last episode. Roxanne came out. She tried to help Raquel Rodriguez sweeten in the pot to you know, take over that championship, to take Liv's title.
Could Liv out for 6 months.
Yeah. She's gonna be gone for quite the while.
Yeah.
Yeah, this match wasn't bad. I mean, there were some hard hits, some stiff shots, some good spots there, back and forth. I mean, I didn't see, even with the interference from Roxanne Perez, I didn't see Rhea Ripley losing to.
I didn't either. Yeah,
Raquel.
I didn't.
Yeah. Though, it was what it was. It wasn't a bad match, though. Next up, we had Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross.
I ain't never seen Karrion Kross wrestle.
Wow, you don't? Yeah, no, I don't think you have, like, at all, ever.
I ain't never seen him wrestle.
Yeah, he's always just been the backstage guy, or the guy with what the hell would they call themselves?
Oh, his
Testament.
crew that got fired.
Yeah, Final Testament.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
This was okay.
Yeah,
I
this
just
wasn't
don't
bad.
understand what they're doing. Are you trying to make Sammy go heel, or?
I feel like maybe. But then again, I don't know. I thought we were going to get there. I thought we were going to get like a slow Sammy heel turn when Jey Uso was still the champion. But I mean, that ain't the case now. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, this match was okay. Sami Zayn beats Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross is on a PLE now.
Yeah.
So
at least he's in the stage. Like,
yeah. So things are looking okay right now.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. From there, we had the United States Championship match. We had Jacob Fatu versus Solo Sikoa. I didn't have Solo winning this one. I ain't gonna lie.
I didn't either.
I didn't. How do we feel about this match?
I don't like the outcome.
Now, let's talk about the outcome. So, the match was okay, back and forth between Solo and Jacob Fatu. And, we got the interference. We got a bunch of stuff going on. What I will say is that this match did give us one of the greatest sight on scene, like, just for me, like one of the biggest pops that I've ever experienced as a fan, like in recent memory, watching this. I mean, a lot of people, I haven't seen too many talking about, like, just how important the return of Tanga Loa was. Nobody is talking about the return of one of the greatest professional wrestlers that has ever.
Oh my gosh!
Hey, look, everybody! Tanga Loa's back. Hey, look, he did something. He didn't fuck it up. So there you go.
Something.
Yeah, it's an improvement.
Something for him?
Exactly. He came in. He did what he needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got Jeff Cobb. I'm still not calling him JC Mateo. That's stupid. That's dumb. It's Jeff Cobb. But yeah, so it was Jacob Fatu fighting the uphill battle. Tanga Loa returns. Jacob Fatu's beating the odds. And then we got the debut of Hikuleo.
Yeah.
We knew he was in WWE. He's had a couple, matches that nobody, obviously wasn't televised, but we knew he was there, and it was a matter of time before he was integrated in something. And he is now added to the stable of Solo Sikoa, which isn't the Bloodline. We don't call it anything that anymore, but it's, whatever Solo's band of people are. Mm-hmm. And they aid Solo in defeating Jacob Fatu and winning the United States Championship. So we got a new United States champion in Solo Sikoa.
They got to do something with Solo.
I like Solo. Solo's entertaining, like on the mic sometimes, and like some of the little mannerisms and stuff he does. I think if we lean a little bit more into that, Solo could be people would, come around to feeling like Solo was more entertaining. Because, like, he has flashes of stuff where it's like, yo, that guy is, like, that was funny. I was like, okay, all right, that's funny. But, but not make him, ooh, we did it. You son. I'm back.
Yeah, I'm back too.
All right, so
We experiencing some technical issues.
Yep, we got some technical issues. This was the we threw up the disclaimer earlier on in the episode about
Twitch is
Riverside.
still down.
Twitch is still down. Fantastic. Gotta love it. Let's just try to mosey on through this thing because it seems to be the happening with Riverside right now. But so Solo Sikoa is your new United States champion by beating Jacob Fatu. Then we had the finals for the Queen of the Ring. This was Asuka versus Jade Cargill. How did we feel about this?
Sloppy. Jade's worst match. Sloppy. I know what was going on. I know when she first came out, she was sloppy. She got real good. She was doing things. This felt like she was nervous.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like G put her best foot forward.
And
I hold that because I say that because I don't think her and Asuka has had much time together.
You're gonna okay.
So they don't know each other that well.
Mm-hmm.
So stuff that while watching it, I'm looking, I'm like, wait, that should happen here. Why didn't Asuka do this? Why is Jade doing that? Like, it looked like they just didn't spend enough time.
Yeah, there's definitely some
lot of miscommunication
and missteps there, and it's unfortunate. I mean, I like Jade's aesthetic.
Oh, coming out like Storm.
Yeah, the Storm thing was cool.
Yeah,
that was awesome. But just like all in all, though, I like Jade's aesthetic. I like Jade as a character. I am not a fan of Jade in the ring. I just have not been ever. Not even in AEW with the whole undefeated stuff. Like, and that I don't even want to say maybe that could have been part of it. Like, she had so many matches where she didn't do anything but just like beat people in like less than a minute. So, she built this name and all that, but she never really had to do a whole lot. And, when somebody with the caliber of Asuka, this wasn't on Asuka. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, I think that Jade needs to spend more time in the ring with your high flyers, because there aren't that many people to the size of Jade.
Right.
So you're going to be in the ring with a lot of smaller talent. You need to learn how to work with that smaller talent. You need to know how to work with individuals who are more technical than you are, who could take your lack of technical wrestling and showcase what you got. You got the power, you got the strength, you got the speed, you got the charisma.
Mm-hmm.
But when you got somebody swinging around you, doing circles around you, it makes you look bad.
Yeah. I mean, and for God's sakes, we put her and Bianca Belair together as a tag team.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what more firsthand, learning could you get than with someone like Bianca? And I don't know, man. Like,
I don't go back to creative. 3 months of intense training.
At this point, we've done that.
Well, bump her to NXT real quick. Do a stint on NXT.
And that's why I feel like this would be a good... If I was booking this. Jade won the tournament. Jade is the queen in the ring. Jade will get a championship match. Now, we do... WWE, they push Jade as a superstar. She is a superstar. Like I said, she has the look. She has everything that you would want a star and a champion to look like and be. I get it. So, do we put a championship under her belt, so to speak? Yes. Have her win a championship. Have Naomi cash in, like we talked about. Take the title off of her.
Mm-hmm.
All right, bam. Jade won the championship. Jade is championship caliber. You know, she's championship material because she won the championship. Doesn't mean she got to hold on to it for 3 minutes. Just have Naomi come in, take it. She's won the championship, and then we continue the story with Naomi as the champion. You know, and then hopefully by then we would be a little bit better with, a little more okay, I should say, with Jade having a legitimate championship run.
I think she needs more work.
Yes, I mean, you know.
That's the big thing. She needs a little bit more work. And I'm saying this as a person, like, I've only wrestled in high school. I've never wrestled in WWE. I'm not saying that it's easy.
No,
I'm just saying that when you're performing, I need you to perform.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to. I mean, we all knew Jade was winning this, but I wanted to see like the match. Like I wanted to see, you know. And I'm like, all right, she's in there with Asuka. This is, and each match, each Jade match, I want to see more. You know, each Jade match, I want to see, you know, how any improvements. You know, any, you know, crispness, any different, you know, aspects that we hadn't seen in previous matches. Like she's more comfortable in doing certain things. Sometimes she still looks apprehensive in things, even still. And you know that showed up also, you know, in this match with Asuka. But I don't know, man. I mean, Jade is our queen of the ring, so she's got a SummerSlam match coming up. So there's that.
We'll see what's happening. I'll watch it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here for it. So what we were all here for was the WWE Undisputed Championship match, which was our main event. It was CM Punk versus John Cena match. How do we feel as a whole?
Solid B match.
Okay.
It got a little bit better towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't expect. I would have liked for CM Punk to win, Rollins cash in, and then Cena spends the rest of his time going after Rollins. That's how I would have liked it.
Okay.
Having John Cena win, then, you know, Seth, Braun, Heyman, Breaker, all of them come out. Reed come out. I was expecting a little bit more than what they did.
Yeah, we had a whole lot going on. We had Seth and his crew came out. Yeah, Penta and Sami Zayn came out.
Can I talk about Penta for a second?
Yes.
Why he gonna slow Stroll out?
Why did we do this? Like,
I was excited. He slow Strolled out.
Situation is dire right now, but you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do my stuff.
I need you to do that Penta walk. The building should be on fire. I need you to do that Penta walk. That was, for me, that felt on brand.
Yeah.
Like, stuff is happening. Whoa.
Yeah, let me do this.
Let me do my walk. Yeah. Did he? Oh, no, he did. They can't. I believe if this was in another area and the audience was closer, he would have gave people the hands.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He probably, yes. I'm sure
he would have. Right now.
Yeah. I'm sure he would have. Yes. Yeah. Most definitely.
I thought that was great.
That's kind of how the time. I don't know. I can't remember if it was it Matt Hardy. I think it might have been Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy was getting beat up, and then like Jeff Hardy returned. Jeff came out, and Jeff started doing the Jeff thing, like before he ran down to the ring to like.
You gotta get the fans what they want. And what happened? You saw Sami Zayn come running out and immediately gets smacked.
He did.
I'm like, what are you doing, Sammy? You're only here because Saudi Arabia loves you.
Sammy does what Sammy does.
Saudi Arabia loves Sami Zayn. They
Yes.
love him to death. He is their icon. It's the only reason why he was there. Can you just beat Karrion Kross? Why you not out back just chilling?
Back in the main event segment, baby.
Coming out there.
Main event, Sammy. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you know, all of this stuff gets clustered up. Everything gets all crazy. Long story short, John Cena picks up Seth Rollins' scraps for CM Punk. CM Punk essentially gets screwed again by Seth Rollins. He gets hit, gets curb stomped. John Cena throws Seth out, discards him, and then just pretty much capitalizes on that curb stomp. Pins CM Punk, retains the championship, rolls out of Night of Champions, still the champion. So clearly there's going to be another issue between Seth Rollins and CM Punk. This thing ain't going to be over no time soon.
No time soon.
SummerSlam match, anybody? But yeah, I mean, yeah, that was Night of Champions.
Yeah.
It was okay.
For me, it was an average show.
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, it was an average show.
It was an episode of Raw with a little extra things in it.
Yeah, with a couple big matches, like the Cena Punk match is big. Randy and Cody, that's a big match also. You know, but yeah.
I know they can't do everything because of laws and stuff like that, but I was looking for more.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And I think that's what's going to really affect these shows moving forward in Saudi Arabia is the fact that they can't do everything. When in Rome, you do as the Romans do. You can't go to somebody else's country trying to wild out and do some crazy shenanigans.
Right.
And the people like, oh, that's not allowed here. Which I get. Like I said, I'm not telling nobody how to live their life.
Right.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
you know, Saturday night main events should be in Saudi Arabia. Or
I can
they
see
have their
doing
own
that.
event, Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
We don't need to bring
The Rumble and
the Rumble, like Mania, none of that stuff over there. None of that. Keep it here. You know how many people won't be able to go to Royal Rumble because of this?
Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, that was Night of Champions, and you know, on theme with this episode, we are trying to wrap this thing up before we get smacked again by Riverside.
Yeah.
So let's just get the goods out of the way. Let's get to the thing we all came here for. All that BS with Night of Champions. This is it. This is the world famous, most fantastic, epic segment in all of professional wrestling podcasts. This is AEW in a nutshell.
Yes, sir. And we're going to start off with AEW Dynamite. Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland versus Blake Christian and Lee Johnson. Will Ospreay and Swerve Strickland win because the other two people are nobodies. Leading up to the EVPs getting involved, saying whatever. But Swerve and Ospreay challenges the Young Bucks to a match at AEW All In. And Ospreay mentions that the Young Bucks should put up their titles. We'll see what happens. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun.
We had Kota versus Trent Barrett with Rocky Romero. Dynamite 300. Oh, them two. Well, I'm sorry. Them two going at it. Kota wins at Dynamite 300. You're going to have Okada versus Kota, because Okada came out doing what he does, just staring at people.
Yes, that's gonna be I'm looking forward to that.
That's gonna be good. Dynamite 300. We cut to John Moxley in the stairwell. He's talking trash about Hangman Page. Said he lost focus and doubts Hangman will grab the opportunity. Moxley calls out Page. Said he's afraid to become what the world needs him to be. On July 12th, when Page is overwhelmed by basically John Moxley keeps talking trash.
Yeah, it's a weekly thing.
It's a weekly thing. We're gonna get Moxley and Hangman again in the ring, and I believe this is where Moxley's gonna lose the title. I am hoping that Hangman gets this.
He's AEW's last hope.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Hangman gets this. I'm hoping we're lead to a championship match where Hangman wins, and I hope it's not clean. I hope it's crazy. I hope it's wild. That's what I'm looking for. When I hear Moxley, Hangman, you know Will Ospreay is going to be involved. You know Swerve Strickland's going to be involved. You know all the Death Riders are going to be involved.
Yeah, it'll probably be like an Avengers Endgame type situation.
Please give it to me.
Yeah,
I would love it. Ricochet and Era Fox versus Jet Speed, which is Speedball and Kevin Knight. Weird little combo with Kevin Knight in it. I wasn't really sure why Kevin Knight is with Speedball right now. Not 100% sure.
Because AEW.
Not 100% sure. But Jet Speed wins.
Because it sounded good. Tony Khan was like, Jet Speed sounds like a good name.
So we'll go. There was hold on. This Tony Schiavone was interviewing Jet Speed. Bailey says the AEW tag teams have never been held hostage, and Knight vows to bring them home. Lashley and Shelton attacks him from behind, throwing him into the steps of the barricades. MVP and MJF joins, with Lashley choking Bailey through the table. MVP announces that her Syndicate is challenging for the tag team titles at All In if Jet Speed can stand. MJF talks about his Casino Gauntlet match and his pursuit for the AEW World Championship. Mark Briscoe interrupts, mocks MJF, and calling him insecure. MJF insults Briscoe, but Briscoe responds with empathy. The crowds chant kosher pickle, and MVP agrees to leave, letting Briscoe handle his business. I'm hoping they do more with Briscoe.
Yes, please.
I'm hoping they do more with Briscoe.
Please.
Like
you can't miss. You can't miss
talent that you have right there.
Yes.
That y'all just pick and choose when to throw him out. No. He is what an AEW superstar.
Yes.
You had a fatal 4-way match, number 1 spot in the men's Casino Gauntlet at AEW All in Texas. Takashita versus Briscoe versus Bandino versus Roderick Strong, and Briscoe actually gets the W.
Yes.
Then you jump into the four-way number 1 spot in the women's Casino Gauntlet at AEW's All in Texas. Athena versus Nightingale versus Thunder Rosa versus Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander gets the W. At the end of the show, you had Hangman Page versus Beast Mortos. Hangman Page won. Hangman only went against Beast Mortos because they talked about Hangman earlier in the show, so they had to give him a match.
Yes.
Collision. AEW Collision. Tony Schiavone introduces the Outrunners and FTR with Hathaway. Stokely criticized the Outrunners, and Cash Wheeler expresses confusion over their sudden hostility, showing a video package of their past interactions. Dax calls the Outrunner jealous and claims that they've never been good for FTR. Magnum and Floyd responded saying that they were dropped by FTR when something better came along. The Outrunners challenged FTR to a match, which Stokely accepts for the next week's Collision 100. That's pretty much it. But you have Christian Cage versus Nick Wayne against Big Bill, Brian Keith. Surprisingly, Nick Cage and Christian wins. I thought it'd be more Big Bill and Brian Keith, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Brody King and the Temporo? versus Hexero and Rocky Romero. Brody King wins. I don't know these other guys.
Brody King won.
Brody King wins this. Megan Bayne versus Vixen. Megan Bayne gets a W. Then we had the TNT Championship match. Adam Cole defends against Josh Alexander. We all know Adam Cole won that because who cares about Josh Alexander? Queen Aminata versus Sky Blue. Surprisingly, I'm more of a Sky Blue fan than a Queen Aminata, but Queen Aminata wins. Kyle Fletcher versus Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle Fletcher wins, but all of a sudden Collision just turns off.
Cause sure,
that was it. That's pretty much AEW.
Yeah, I mean, they you know, it was streaming on Riverside.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. AEW on Riverside.
Yeah, that's what it was. But yeah, no. So that was AEW in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and before we get Riversided again, let's go ahead and wrap this one up. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining us on the Bury the Booking podcast. Please like, share, follow, subscribe, all that good, fine stuff. Check us out on the socials, and we will see you next time, hopefully with a smoother Bury the Booking podcast.